This is CTV News with Yasmin Gandam.
People to be able to come back to share their skills, to augment patrol, to come back on the road, to do what I love doing.
A creative solution to a staffing shortage and a strategic shift in recruitment by Victoria Police.
3 of those patients were from the current Gaza war.
Using technology to help people on the other side of the globe. How Victoria Group is bringing hope to those who have been injured by war. Plus, Adam finds out how a Saanich man realized a remarkable talent that's earning red carpet attention on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and Happy New Year. On the final day of 2025, a former Victoria police officer is coming out of retirement and has been sworn in as the department's newest recruit. It's part of an initiative to address staffing shortages, which are affecting Vancouver Island departments and many others across the country. CTV's Anna McMillan has more on that and a strategic shift away from recruitment campaigns focused on guns, canines, and high-speed driving.
I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept.
Retirement didn't last long for Sean Millard, now the Victoria Police Department's newest constable. The 55-year-old called it a career in February, and less than a year later, he's back.
To come back on the road, to do what I love doing, to work as a constable instead of a supervisor this time with junior members, I jumped at the chance.
He's being re-sworn in as an officer as part of a recruitment program that launched in October.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Recently hired members can sign 3-year contracts to get back on patrol, where Vic PD says its staffing shortage is most dire.
Patrol is really the backbone of any policing organization. This is where we respond to 911 calls and we ensure that, we're providing public safety on the front line.
Millard is the first officer to come out of retirement, and the department says a few others are waiting in the wings.
Over time, it's just more people retired than what we're putting back out. And I think every police force is feeling the same thing.
An Edmonton-based cop turned criminologist says it's time for recruitment strategies to change.
You have this kind of a career in policing that has been seen as ultra macho, masculine, and unfortunately, I think the recruiting of police agencies hasn't grown past where they should.
Research out of Simon Fraser University echoes that, finding recruitment videos tend to focus on men, firearms, and canine and tactical units.
They still have helicopters and people jumping on boats and all the stuff that I never did, and I don't think 90% of police officers ever will. And I think they need to start looking at policing as a helping profession, a compassionate profession.
VicPD agrees, so it's planning a PR pivot.
The images of ERT members propelling off of the side of buildings, it's compelling, it's exciting, it's interesting, but the reality is there are so many other parts of policing that I think should be highlighted.
The target audience?
Individuals who really want an exciting career, but at the heart of it, want to help people.
As the department waits for more applicants, the hope is retired to hired officers will help fill the gap.
For people to be able to come back to share their skills, to augment patrol, it's something they enjoy.
A new constable with decades of experience that he'll bring with him for his first shift on Saturday. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Today marks 1 year since a fire tore through the picturesque boardwalk in Telegraph Cove. Last New Year's Eve, flames devoured the Telegraph Cove boardwalk, destroying the site's museum, restaurant, and wooden pathway. Today, new walls are up for the restaurant and pub, and the damaged pilings for the boardwalk have been replaced. The Whale Interpretive Center sharing the photos today as they looked back at the last 12 months, calling it a, quote, challenging and overwhelming year. The iconic tourism destination open to tourists this summer while work continued. The Whale Interpretive Center is collecting donations to help rebuild through CanadaHelps.org. Mounties in the Comox Valley are searching for a man with a history of violence. RCMP are searching for 25-year-old wanted man Matthew McCharles Carter. He's wanted for assault, uttering threats, and failure to comply with an order. Police say he's known to frequent both the Comox Valley and Fort St. John. Anyone with information is asked to call the Comox Valley RCMP. A Victoria group is working to bring the latest in prosthetics technology to those who have lost limbs across the world. As CTV's Brendan Strange shows us, their latest trip took them to Egypt, where they were able to help victims from Gaza.
This is literally the original design scale.
Nick Detchev with the Victoria Hand Project has recently returned from Egypt, where he outfitted 6 people with low-cost, functioning prosthetic arms.
3 of those patients were from the current Gaza war.
Including this woman, who was in her kitchen when a rocket hit her home.
In that one instant, her children were killed. She lost her limb.
Under incredible odds, her and her husband were able to make it across the border into Egypt before the crossing was closed.
Our partner in Egypt, CEH, has been working with Victoria Hand since 2018.
The charity operates in 11 countries, where they partner with clinicians, teaching them to use technologies to create the prosthetic limbs and outfit the patients free of charge.
The reality is right now, there's thousands of people in Gaza still who have lost limbs, and we're trying to formulate a plan to help those people in Gaza.
During the first few weeks of the war, several doctors managed to cross into Egypt as well.
They would like to go back into Gaza as soon as the border reopens.
During the recent trip, Detchev worked with those doctors, showing them how to create and outfit the limbs, setting the groundwork that will one day lead to the charity, helping those within the war-torn region.
We're going to outfit them with 3D scanners and just basic plaster of Paris casting materials so they can make an impression of someone's limb.
That digital information would be sent back to the Cairo office, where the arms would be produced, then sent to Gaza to be fit onto the patients.
It's just very exciting to be able to work with such dedicated partners in Cairo, and then in the future also be able to work with doctors who will be within Gaza.
In a region of the world devastated by the horrors of war, with thousands left injured, trying to pick up the pieces, the charity is hoping to soon lend a hand to those that are in need. Brendan Strange, CTV News, Saanich.
We're getting a unique view of American robins feeding on a bumper crop of arbutus berries in Saanich. A South Island bird watcher who specializes in hummingbirds joined a crew to capture the event with his thermal camera. The imagery was taken at Riffet's Bog when thousands of migrating robins landed overnight and took off in the morning.
Birds stand out as bright lights basically against a darker background, and you can see some of the horizon and that sort of thing in there. But the main thing is that it gives you a real insight as to what's there. It's a lot harder to see birds with the naked eye than it is to see with the thermal camera.
He says the thermal camera has been a game changer to his work. It's lending new insight into their behaviors and highlights the importance of the wildlife spaces we have in the area. After another global spin around the sun, community toasts are on deck. In the capital, the Downtown Victoria Business Association is capping off the year with countdowns at Centennial Square. There's a 9 o'clock event for families and your traditional countdown to midnight. The free celebration built around the lights of wonder starts at 5 with live music and food trucks.
I'm really looking for just the community coming together, celebrating this great part of the world that we live in. And it's a chance, again, for our members, the businesses in downtown, to say thank you to Greater Victorians for all the support over the last year, especially given some of our issues with our neighbors to the south.
Come morning, there are polar plunges happening in communities up and down the island. Organizers say Sydney's plunge at Glass Beach has been growing every year.
What a way to get a challenge completed on day one. And it just, to me, it sort of opens up the rest of the year for that. You know, once you're willing to let yourself really go on something like this, you know, the rest of the year will seem easy.
Those brave enough to withstand the frosty temperatures in Sydney will be running into the water at 1 p.m. And this year, there will be prizes, so participants are encouraged to sign in. Well, forget Netflix and chill. People in the capital region seem to prefer reading and relaxing. The Greater Victoria Public Library says between January and December this year, 3.1 million books were borrowed. Readers also took out 2.5 million digital books, CDs, and other content. Historical fiction dominates the print fiction list, where the most borrowed book is The Woman by Kristen Hannah, dominating for a second year in a row. For nonfiction, The Anxious Generation generation topped the list, also for the second time. The library says the nonfiction list reflects growing interest in current events, communication, and social themes. More than 20,000 new people registered for library cards this year. Still to come, who's in and who's out.
A mistake from Hockey Canada not to have him on the roster. I don't know what else he would have to prove in his playing career to be on this team.
Revealing the stars who made Canada's Olympic men's hockey team with 2 months to go. And Josh will be back after the break with the full forecast.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
So my apologies, it's not Josh and weather, it's Caroline. And look at your sequence, ready for New Year's?
I mean, if there's any time, any day that I can wear my Country Music Award-winning jacket, then this is it.
Absolutely. Well, what's coming up for us, Caroline?
Well, I'm trying to brighten things up here now because there is a fog advisory in effect as we speak for East Vancouver Island, and that is now through tomorrow morning. So if you're going to be out and about in East Vancouver Island, do take care. Meanwhile, as for the precipitation, Port Hardy and area will be seeing the most of it. There it is, midnight tonight. It will dissipate, but then Victoria will see a little bit of wet weather coming in on Friday. But generally, everywhere in the middle of the island is going to be dry-ish for the next little stretch. Let's take a look. All right, North Island tomorrow, as you just saw on the satellite, we'll see most of the rainfall in this stretch. Cloudy tomorrow, though. Showers begin later in the evening, and then varying degrees of rain and showers for the first few days, of 2026. Inland, some fog to start the day tomorrow. That dissipates as the morning goes on. Mainly cloudy skies, then rain. Temps jump to 8 degrees on Saturday, and that's well above average. On the West Coast, a cloudy 2026. High of 9, and then showers begin for the rest of the stretch. As for Comox, that's West Coast. As for Comox, my clicker wasn't clicking. Fog patches tomorrow morning, then a cloudy day. Wet weather makes its presence felt. Temps above seasonal. And then on to Nanaimo, a foggy start, then a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow morning. More cloud cover around noon, and then a high of 7. Then beginning Friday, a whole lot of rain. Victoria, delightful start to the new year. Mix of sun and cloud and 7 degrees, then some showers beginning on Friday. Now, if you're going to be out and about in Victoria, the temperature tonight for midnight is going to be 0 degrees, right? Freezing. So bundle up and take care out there. Happy New Year, friends. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Thanks, Caroline. Definitely a rainy start to the new year.
Yeah, we live in BC.
Thanks for that. Well, a year that promises to be a big one in sports with the start of the Winter Olympic Games. Just over a month away, if you can believe it. And today, the roster for the Canadian men's hockey team was announced. So which stars will try to recapture Olympic gold? Here's CTV's Garrett Berry.
With superstars Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid leading the way, Hockey Canada has created a very similar group to the team which won gold at the Four Nations face-off in February. But there are a few notable subtractions. Travis Konechny, Seth Jarvis are off the team. So is reigning NHL playoff MVP and two-time Cup winner Sam Bennett.
And it's a big-time mistake from Hockey Canada not to have him on the roster. I don't know what else he would have to prove in his playing career to be on this team. I thought he was going to be a lock.
Taking one of those spots, breakout star Macklin Celebrini, the 19-year-old from North Vancouver, is turning heads this year, competing for the NHL scoring title.
He fit in very well socially with the top players in the game, and his product on the ice speaks for itself. So he worked his way on.
There's turnover at goal, with Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper joining Jordan Binnington in that position, but the entirety of the defense group is identical to that Four Nations face-off team. Other omissions: Chicago's Connor Bedard, Winnipeg's Mark Scheifele. Team GM Doug Armstrong said no one played their way off of the team, but 25 players worked their way on.
There's a lot of aspects that go into the team. You look at Hagel Sorelli's penalty killing. It's exemplary in the NHL.
NHL players are set to return to the Olympics for the first time in 12 years. Canada won gold that year, 2014, the last time league players competed.
The Milan arena that's set to host these hockey events isn't quite complete yet. Testing on the ice is set to start on January 9th. Today, Hockey Canada executives said they were confident the arena would get completed in time for the games.
Well, Ukrainians are ushering in the new year with growing wariness after Russian drones blasted southern Ukraine overnight. 6 people were injured, including 3 children. This as Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed confidence in eventual victory. CTV senior correspondent Judy Trin has the latest.
Russia's defense ministry is accusing Kyiv of launching a terrorist attack on Vladimir Putin's residence in Novgorod. The Kremlin says the attack was thoroughly planned and involved dozens of drones. Unconfirmed video of one drone that was shot down was shown on a giant screen. The footage was released 2 days after Putin called Donald Trump.
Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. It's no good. It's no good.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky denounced Putin's accusation as a lie. It came after his meeting with Trump on Sunday. Zelensky called it an attempt to scuttle peace negotiations. The U.S. NATO ambassador says independent verification is required.
Seems to me a little indelicate to be this close at a peace deal, Ukraine really wanting to get a peace deal done, and then to do something that would be viewed as reckless or not helpful.
The source of this destruction in Odessa is clear. 6 people, including 3 children, were injured. Russia is escalating attacks on urban areas, taking out the electricity grid. Residents who live in this damaged building say right now peace feels impossible. We're all stressed and at the limits of our strength, says this woman. In Vishharar, after 4 days of cold darkness, power and heat returned on New Year's Eve. From cafes to beauty salons, working is a daily act of defiance, says this owner. Work can be hell. If you add air raid alerts and night strikes, we get thrown off track, but we still try to hold on, at least a little.
In his New Year's address, Vladimir Putin reasserted his belief that Russia can win the war. Russia currently occupies 20% of Ukraine. NATO officials estimate that 25,000 Russian troops are being killed each month, yet Moscow is still able to replenish its ranks. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, realizing a dream. Adam finds out how a Saanich man's unexpected talent led to positive recognition on a red carpet in Vancouver. That's next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Finally, Adam finds out how a man from Saanich ended up appearing on a red carpet in Vancouver on this Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Ari Canarthy never imagined he'd become the focus of photographers on a red carpet. Back when he was a boy, simply fighting to have fun.
It feels very frustrating to be left out of activities that my friends can do and I can't do.
Spinal muscular atrophy was making Ari unable to play video games with his hands, until he discovered technology that allowed him to control the action on screen with the movement of his breath.
I can play almost any game out there, and my friend can join me and we can have a great time.
But finding a pleasurable pastime couldn't compare to discovering his true passion.
I really want to just impact people deeply.
Although his condition was weakening his muscles, this adaptive technology, along with music therapy, was strengthening Ari's talent for composing.
My dream is to write music for film.
So you can imagine how he felt when he received an unexpected message from a stranger offering to realize that dream.
I actually thought it was a scam.
Turns out the very real Salazar Films had heard about Ari's music and wanted to collaborate.
He wants to be regarded as an artist with a disability, not a disabled person who is an artist. And I think the film really focuses on that.
Ari's theme documents how the artist, facing a condition that will shorten his life, races to compose a soundtrack to his most impactful memories in the hopes of leaving a meaningful legacy.
You only have one life, and it's best to live it to the fullest.
And for Ari, that's overcoming adversity to have his movie picked to open the Vancouver International Film Festival, have his soundtrack performed live by members of the orchestra, and appear on stage to a standing ovation.
It's an absolute dream come true.
And while this boy never dared to dream so big, this man hopes his new reality will inspire.
You should always put yourself out there, open yourself up to possibility.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Well, what a beautiful reminder that dreams can come true. That's it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thanks so much for joining us and have a happy new year. Today on CTV News, unsettling mystery.
She was missing and she was in your unit and then she died. What happened?
Unanswered questions after a 16-year-old girl was found dead in an East Vancouver home Tuesday. An update from police. Plus,
this Christmas a miracle. I think they are not just a rescuer, they are really angels sent by God.
a hiker's cautionary tale after he became hypothermic on Cypress Mountain, how North Shore Rescue saved his life, and
gonna go after we ski and go home and get dressed in all of our sparkly outfits and go out. Oh yeah, we're gonna come to the bars and hang out with my friends.
What New Year celebrations can we expect here in Vancouver, and how easy will it be to get around?
This is CTV News with Yasmin Gandon.
Good evening and Happy New Year. Vancouver police are bracing for New Year celebrations, flooding the streets of downtown tonight. CTV's Craig Krause has more on what safety measures are being put in place as thousands prepare to welcome 2026.
While the world rings in the new year, the Vancouver sky will remain dark as the city rolls into 2026 with another year without fireworks. But for Vancouverites craving a pyrotechnic extravaganza, there's a show on the North Shore.
We have a number of things on the docket, including 2 different fireworks shows.
Grouse Mountain expecting thousands to kiss 2025 goodbye with a DJ, skating, and other activities for people of all ages as the resort kicks off its 100-year anniversary.
We're really excited to host everybody.
Not everyone is sticking around for the festivities.
Gonna go after we ski and go home and get dressed in all of our sparkly outfits and go out. We're gonna come to the bars and hang out with my friends.
The Granville Strip is expected to be a hub for celebrations.
We are deploying a lot of extra officers.
On top of that, vehicle barriers introduced to city events this year after the deadly Lapu Lapu attack will be used in crowded areas Wednesday night.
People, when they come in to Vancouver, they tend to flood to areas like Granville Street, like Gastown, and so just to keep people safe, we have extra barriers.
To help everyone get home safely, TransLink is offering free rides until 5 a.m.
The way I see it, if our bus stops are busy tonight, if the SkyTrain stations are busy, if the trains are full, to us, that's a great thing because every additional person means one more person making the safe and responsible way to get home.
An option for partiers in Metro Vancouver, but for some, it will be a more low-key celebration this year.
We're just hanging out, having a pretty chill night tonight, playing some FIFA as always.
Craig Crowe, CTV News, Vancouver.
Now to more on the missing 16-year-old found dead in an East Vancouver home yesterday morning. Police have not yet determined if her death is a result of criminal activity or what she was doing in that particular house. CTV's Ben Millard spoke to the man who lives in the unit where the girl was found.
There are still many unanswered questions about what the missing teen was doing in this house and why she was in a unit occupied by an adult man. So we knocked on his door. We just want to know why there's a 16-year-old girl in your unit.
Yeah, everything you're going to have it.
No, but I mean, you could tell us right now. Why did you have a 16-year-old child in here? She was missing and she was in your unit and then she died. What happened?
You come back to you, I'll give you all of it.
VicPD investigators questioned the man on Tuesday.
Yeah, so you were saying so you said you'd give her a ride or something, or what?
The 16-year-old from North Van was reported missing on Monday. Neighbors on East Pender tell CTV News police were knocking on doors around midnight after pinging her cell phone in the area. Paramedics attended this blue house at 8:45 on Tuesday morning and then called in VicPD, who say the girl was found deceased inside.
We're doing everything that we can to speak to everybody who might have information that will help us understand all of the circumstances, not just surrounding her disappearance, but how she found herself at this home in a city where she doesn't live, and how she died.
It is a rooming house with many short-term rental units inside. Neighbors say the man who lives in the unit where the teen was found has been there for about 2 months. He did not directly answer our questions. Were you doing drugs here with the girl?
16, I saw 24, 27 at most.
Police say the investigation is still ongoing. They have not released the name of the teen or her cause of death, and they have not yet said whether they believe she died as the result of a crime. Ben Millard, CTV News, Vancouver.
A fog advisory remains in effect for Metro Vancouver. Forecasters are warning of sudden periods of near zero visibility through Thursday morning. Environment and Climate Change Canada says the conditions are being caused by a ridge of high pressure over the region, leading to patchy fog throughout the day Wednesday. Police are urging drivers to proceed with caution.
I think what we'll find is a lot of more fender benders in the fog, because you don't realize how close you are to the vehicle in front of you. And it might even seem like you feel like you have control. Next thing you know, the person in front of you sees something you don't, or thinks they see something that you don't, and you're plowing the back of them, right? So extra caution, extra space in front of you.
Police are also advising motorists to use your fog lights and not your high beams. One person is dead after being struck by a car while walking in Richmond this morning. It happened just before 7 a.m. near the intersection of Williams and Seacon. The victim, who was struck while walking, was pronounced dead at the scene. Williams Road was closed between Shell and Number 5 Road for hours as police investigated. Housing and affordability dominating the headlines this year, but some municipalities are pushing back on the province's housing legislation. It allows for single-family lots to be zoned for fourplexes, but similar legislation in Calgary is being reconsidered. Here's our Legislative Bureau Chief, Rob Buffum, with more.
And so the construction is going to be immediately outside of my bedroom.
Pamela Manhouse worries she'll have to move from her Victoria rental home of nearly 20 years. After getting notice yesterday, construction's coming next year for a 4-unit multiplex planned for a patch of grass on the front yard of the character home she lives in.
It's because this group of developers who own this structure now just want to milk every dollar out of this property.
Concerns about increasing densification have been raised across BC. 15 Metro Vancouver mayors last month sending a letter to the Premier requesting the NDP repeal housing legislation that allows for multiplexes on traditional single-family lots.
For the province to step in and say, we know better, and we're going to do it from Victoria, I mean, that just doesn't sit well with anybody.
Still, the housing minister reiterates the government isn't repealing its laws, pointing to increasing vacancies and declining rents. A message amplified by the Premier earlier this month.
Now is absolutely the wrong time to back off on housing. You know, we have led the country in seeing declining rents. We've seen almost a 10% reduction in rents in our province.
But many communities across BC, including Oak Bay, say the provincial government needs to consult more with municipalities.
That concern about the province taking away the responsibilities of municipalities without consultation has been really red flagged by the Union of BC Municipalities.
One province over, Calgary Council has started rolling back municipal zoning that allowed multiplexes on single-family lots similar to BC's legislation. A change made this month after it was a campaign issue in the fall.
It's no surprise at all. I mean, when you bring in legislation that is just fundamentally flawed, it's going to get repealed.
Sager notes the 15 mayors calling for the repeal represent nearly half the province's residents. Robert Buffum, CTV News, Victoria.
Another week, another rink for the Vancouver Golden Eyes. We'll have all the game highlights with the PWHL team taking on the Sirens in New York. That story coming up. Plus, Hockey Canada has announced its roster for the Winter Games in February. Who made the cut, including some homegrown superstars? Stay with us.
Vespa in front, Norcross scores! The first of her career!
This isn't how the Vancouver Golden Eyes were hoping to end the year. The team lost 2-0 to the New York Sirens this morning, but Vancouver put up a tough fight with 27 shots on goal compared to New York's 26. The Golden Eyes have yet to win on the road and now sit in 7th place in the PWHL. Well, in other sports news, 4 BC-born players have been named to Canada's roster for the 2026 Winter Olympic hockey team. They include 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini of North Vancouver, West Vancouver's Sam Reinhart, and Abbotsford's Devin Taves, and Aldergrove's Shea Theodore. But the fact 20-year-old Connor Bedard, who's also from the North Shore, has been left out will be a major talking point in the build-up to the tournament.
His name was right there to the last second because we could have named him and then move forward. But I think the reality is there's so many good players.
You wouldn't have wanted him out there against some of the best teams' top offensive units. And of course, in the case of Sweden and the United States, you're going to have a lot of top offensive players out there. I think his youth worked against him a little bit, particularly given that it seems like they had made the decision to take Celebrini a month ago, and then this injury as well.
Canada hoping, of course, to replicate the team's success earlier this year at the Four Nations face-off. The men's competition gets underway on February 11th with Team Canada's first game the following day against Switzerland. A Vancouver trail runner says he owes North Shore rescue crews his life after they hiked for hours on Christmas night to save him from a dangerous situation on Cypress Mountain. He admits he was overconfident and made mistakes and hopes by telling his story, he can save someone else. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the story.
This is in 2024. I put this sticker on my laptop.
When he looked into volunteering for North Shore Rescue last year, Shun Ma could never have imagined NSR would one day save him.
This Christmas a miracle. I think they are not just a rescuer, they are really angels sent by God.
Ma is a very experienced winter trail runner who set out for a 6-hour run on Cypress Mountain Christmas Day. The 45-year-old heard what he thought was a wild animal and took a detour. And when that put him behind schedule, he attempted what he thought was a shortcut.
I went down more than 600-meter elevation lost, and until I encountered a big cliff there. I know I checked that. I know I couldn't make it anymore.
Hypothermia was setting in, and Ma realized he'd lost a shoe. With 1 bar of cell phone service, he called for help, and a North Shore rescue crew arrived on foot 7 hours later.
My first sentence was, thank you guys for so many thanks to guys for coming. I ruined your Christmas night.
The NSR crew warmed him up, gave him boots and poles, and helped Ma walk out in the middle of the night.
They are all my heroes, and I owe them my life. They gave me the second chance.
Ma wanted to give back. He's donated $3,000 to North Shore Rescue, and he's sharing his story as a warning to other experienced backcountry users.
So I think, oh, I know, I'm an expert on this mountain. That's really leading to this dangerous situation, not for me, but also for NSR rescuers.
Ma is keeping his remaining shoe as a reminder of what can happen when he gets overconfident.
The mountains doesn't care about your resume, doesn't care about your experience. They just need your respect.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Caroline will bring your weather forecast next as fog continues to blanket much of the lower mainland. Plus, our weekly Homeward Bound segment is coming up. We'll tell you more about the furry friends that could be yours after the break. Stay with us. Well, Caroline, you've got your New Year's Eve sparkles on, and speaking of a bit of a foggy start to the new year.
It will be a foggy start, which is why I needed to be the bright beacon so we can see through it. Now, it looks clear out there now, as you saw on the live eye, but we are under a yellow warning for fog. So if you will be out and about tonight, keep that in mind because visibility will be limited out as you're out on the roads. Speaking of tonight, let's take a look at what we have in store. Again, fog. This is midnight. Foggy, cloudy conditions and pretty cool but dry. We've got dry and cloudy weather all day tomorrow. Welcome to 2026. Not a drop of sunshine to be seen. And then beginning Friday, we've got a significant system coming in, bringing in some rainfall. Happy 2026. All right, let's take a look at the forecast for the southern interior. Mainly cloudy skies throughout Osoyoos Nelson. We'll see some flurries, high of -1 in Nelson. As for the central part of the province, mainly cloudy in Williams Lake, some showers in Bella Coola, periods of snow in Prince George, cloudy skies in Quesnel. Let's go to the north now, friends. Fort Nelson, Fort St. John, some snowfall there. Dees Lake Terrace, some mixing. Massett, Prince Rupert, Smithers, you're going to see a mix of sun and cloud and 0 degrees in Smithers. Moving to the North Island, Port Hardy, mainly cloudy skies, 6 degrees. Campbell River, Comox, 6 degrees under mainly cloudy skies. Tofino will be cloudy tomorrow. Port Alberni, Nanaimo, mainly cloudy. Gulf Islands could see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. 7 degrees. Victoria, mainly cloudy and a high of 7. Sunshine Coast, foggy there, so keep that in mind as you're out and about. That will dissipate tomorrow. 6 degrees tomorrow under mainly cloudy skies. Whistler, Squamish, mix of sun and cloud, high of 6 in Squamish. For the lower mainland, we're going to see highs between 6 and 7 degrees. More sun as you head into the valley, but keep in mind, friends, fog warning is in effect for tonight in through tomorrow morning. So again, tomorrow will be a cloudy day and then showers and rain. Happy 2026.
Thanks, Caroline. Well, it's time for Homeward Bound, our weekly segment where we introduce you to furry friends from local rescues who are looking for their forever home. Here are some pets now available to adopt at the BC SPCA's Abbotsford branch. Meet Joyce, a sweet 1-year-old cat looking for her forever home. Through no fault of her own, she's been through several homes before coming to the SPCA and would love a calm space where she can relax. Joyce might do well with other cats, but would do best at a home with no young kids.
Aww. Pretzel is a 1-year-old Samoyed mix with a big heart and lots of puppy energy. She loves the outdoors and exploring and even uses a doggy doorbell for bathroom breaks. Whoa. Pretzel gets along with most dogs, but can be shy with new people and does need a cat-free home. Aw, Pretzel.
Oh, finally, there's Squatch, a 10-month-old German Shepherd Rottweiler mix. Squatch is described as loyal, affectionate, and full of energy. He'll need an active dog-free home and a family that's prepared to do some leash training. With patience and love, the SPCA says he'll be an amazing best friend. For more information, you can head to adopt.spca.bc.ca. Oh, so adorable.
Oh, my heart can't handle this.
I know. They'll find homes for sure.
Yeah,
Thanks,
of
Caroline. Well, the final episode of the Netflix hit Stranger Things is out tonight. We'll give you a sneak peek of what's in store for the Hawkins teens, plus how you can watch it in theaters. But first, drowsy driver. Police in Oklahoma saw something unusual on the road when a car was moving extra slow. We'll show you the wild video when CTV News continues.
Let's end this, kid. Mother God. I need you to fight.
The finale of the sci-fi series Stranger Things will begin streaming on Netflix at 8 o'clock tonight. In a first, the episode will also be screened at 500 movie theaters across North America. That includes Vancouver's Park Theatre, which was recently saved from closing, thanks in part to one of the show's stars, Finn Wolfhard, who is expected to attend one of tonight's screenings there. Now with a preview of CTV News at 6, Nafisa Kareem.
Yasmin, we've been dealing with fog pretty much all day, and it's going to stick around, but our neighbors in Calgary have a bigger problem. A major water main break turning a highway into a raging river. More than a dozen people had to be rescued, and now there are mass boil water advisories and water use restrictions. Plus, a helping hand from across the world, how a BC charity is bringing the latest in prosthetics technology to victims of the war in Gaza who have lost limbs. And of course, we've got everything you need to know to ring in the new year safely. And we'll show you some of the spectacular fireworks displays from around the world because, oh, we have none here. I'll be back at 6.
Thanks for that, Nafisa. Well, you know not to drink and drive, but you should also think twice before driving while sleep deprived. That's the warning from police as winter weather and the holiday hustle causes chaos on roads. We'll take a look at this. Here's CNN's Jeremy Roth.
Police in Oklahoma say this video shows something they had never seen before.
This person is either completely asleep or passed out.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol responded to calls of a slow-moving car on the highway, and the driver appeared to be slumped over the wheel. The SUV was going about 40 miles an hour and drifting between lane lines, and attempts to get the driver's attention didn't work, so the officer used a tactical maneuver to stop the SUV. Police say the driver, who was later cited for inattention, told them he had worked nearly 20 hours within a 24-hour period and was driving home with the car's lane assist feature activated. Authorities are unsure how the vehicle maintained its speed because they don't believe the cruise control was on. It could have ended a lot worse. Trinity County officials in Texas recently released this video showing failed attempts to stop a drifting SUV they say was driven by an elderly man who was fatigued and falling asleep at the wheel. It ended when the veering SUV clipped an oncoming semi-truck, which luckily caused only minor injuries. Speaking of dangerous, video released this week from Icy, Ohio shows State Patrol officers responding to one vehicle slide-off accident when another nearly hits a trooper on the scene.
Casey, watch out!
The video then switches to the obscured body cam of the trooper who was just missed.
Almost got hit by a truck.
But he escaped unscathed and immediately addresses the motorists involved.
Are you all right, sir?
All of these videos are startling reminders of how driving during the holidays and the winter months in general requires extra attention and caution. So if you're going to be out on the roads, stay safe, stay alert, and stay in your lane. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And I guess more of a local reminder here with the fog, right? To be
fog.
extra alert.
Yes.
All right, well, we're still about 6.5 hours away from midnight here in BC, counting it down. But New Year's celebrations have, of course, already started around the world. Here's a look at how other countries have welcomed 2026. New Zealand led the way with fireworks over Auckland's Sky Tower, followed by Australia's dazzling display above Sydney's Harbour Bridge and Opera House. Tokyo turned this landmark into a countdown clock with a stunning projection, while in Dubai, the world's tallest skyscraper lit up with fireworks, lasers, and fountains. And Taipei's 101 Tower glowed with cascading colors to welcome in the new year. Really
that's
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So gorgeous. And unfortunately, no official fireworks here.
Now we'll live vicariously through that. We'll also live vicariously through this beautiful scenic snapshot. How's that for a segue?
Oh, wow.
Peaceful, serene Qualicum Beach. Thank you, Marilyn, for setting this in. If you want your photo featured, email us scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
We'll return for CTV News at 6 with Nafisa Kareem. Have a happy new year. Here's CTV National News.